got to get the record set up. Okay? Go ahead.
I'm here, but yellow, you know.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all so much for coming today. I'm Ali Marmo, State Vice President of the Tri-Cities region.
And I'm Mariana Ortegon, the State Secretary and Treasurer from the Nova region.
Our workshop today is goal planning and program of work. Before we start, what are some goals that you have set or have already accomplished this year? You can unmute or you can just leave them in the chat. We'd love to hear them. I think for me, a goal of mine would be kind of basic, but just getting into college and finishing my high school year strong.
Yeah, that's also my goal, but since I'm a junior, it's not an imminent goal yet.
Right. Yeah, when junior, I did not care about it as much as senior year.
I am researching, though, into which ones I like.
My main goal is to help my mother with her medical problems and get my dream job. Oh, that's awesome. I love it, Kaylee. My goal is to do well in competitions this year in college, too. Yeah, we can definitely all relate to that. Dream school, ending the year off strong. Me too. A lot of seniors have the same goal.
Yeah. Good score on my SAT. Yep.
Oh, that's you too, Mariana.
That's my goal for the end of this year, kind of. Okay, should we go ahead and get started? So the FBLA's mission is FBLA inspires and prepares students to become community-minded business leaders in a global society through relevant career preparation and leadership experiences.
Before your team starts setting goals for the membership year, it's important to know where your organization stands. Start by reviewing last year's program of work to see what was successful and which goals weren't met. Look at the whole year to determine what contributed to the success of certain goals and why others fell short. Ask the previous officer team what lessons they learned and what recommendations they have for the incoming officers. This can provide great insight that will help this year's team set realistic goals and achieve success. Once you have evaluated last year, it's time to look forward and start setting goals for this year.
Be sure that your goals are SMART. This acronym stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Specific. Begin by defining what it is you're trying to achieve. Be specific. Ask the 5 W's. Who, what, why, where, and which. For example, who is going to be involved in achieving this goal? What tools will they need to accomplish it? Why is the goal important? Where will the work be located? Which resources are going to be needed to do it? Basically, the more you focus on specifics, the more achievable your goal will be.
Next is measurable. Your goal must be measurable so you can track your progress. Tracking your progress keeps you on track and motivates you to finish on time. To be successful, you need to regularly monitor and assess your programs. You must be able to identify when you've reached that goal, so you don't waste time once it's already been achieved.
Next is attainable. Make sure the goal you set is possible to achieve. You want to reach beyond what you think is possible, but not so far that the project fails. You must know your limitations, such as time, budget, and resources, and ask if this goal can be accomplished.
Next is relevant. A SMART goal has to be relevant to the organization. Your goal must align with other relevant goals, because success requires the support and assistance from everyone on the project team. Therefore, it must make sense with the overall strategy of your team or organization.
Lastly is timely. Goals cannot be achieved without a deadline. A deadline is a great motivator and can provide context for you to outline the tasks necessary to reach the goal in the time allotted. Giving the goal time constraints can help you can help you keep it on track. You must answer questions such as, when must the goal be achieved? Then get more specific in that 6 months. Is that 6 months, 6 weeks, or 6 days? Without a time frame, you can't devise a plan, and the goal may never be realized.
One of the most important parts of FBLA is working to increase membership. When focusing on our state's membership goals, remember that retention, or keeping existing members in chapters, is just as important as recruiting new members in chapters.
Now, let's consider setting goals for our state's participation in FBLA programs. Let's look at last year's participation statistics from each program of your school or chapter and determine realistic goals to increase our participation this year. When setting goals for BAA and CSA, begin by setting a goal for each state officer to complete at least one level, or each chapter officer to complete. An important participation goal for everyone is community service. Ali and I have both enjoyed working with Ask Childhood Cancer Foundation, our state service project, over the past few years. Even though we are virtual right now and we can't have any meetings in person, it is still so important to stay up to date and involved virtually. We really appreciate you all coming today.
Now it's time to think about how our state chapter communicates. Are we reaching our members and advisors with important updates and news? Discuss ideas and methods to best research our intended audience. How can the officer team work to increase communication? During these times, it's even more crucial to make sure you're researching every single member. Social media is one of the best ways to reach everyone. Personally, my chapter Instagram page is the #1 platform we use for keeping members up to date. This allows advertising and promoting for chapter events, as well as increasing communication within our chapter.
Now it's time to create your team's program of work. A program of work, or POW, is a written outline of what your chapter plans to do for the year that will make your chapter more organized and will let all your officers know when things are due and who is responsible for a particular project or activity. This document guides the chapter to success. Any activities or projects that officers wish to undertake during this year will be listed in your program of work. This plan lists any goals or ideas that your team has to complete throughout the year. A goal or idea is only useful if it helps you take them into action. When setting goals, it is important to include action verbs because without them, they will be difficult to attain.
And some tips for your program of work are create challenges that will allow your team to strive for success and excellence. Also, don't set out to the minimum amount needed. It is better to do things well rather than have many things and achieve very little. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Your team is there to help you, and being honest rather than covering up the problem will get you further in the long run.
So when creating the program of work, it can help to use a calendar approach and make it easy to track your progress. Be sure that each goal is written clearly so that it is easy for everyone to understand the actions needed to achieve success. Make sure each team member is taking part in the program of work activities. Spreading out the work will help ensure that nobody is overwhelmed and everyone feels involved in achieving the goals set up by the team. When someone has too much work, it can make them stop contributing to the team. So make sure you ask for everyone's input and include your entire team.
Lastly, make sure you review the program of work monthly with advisors and officers to ensure all team members are working on the objectives in a timely fashion. Evaluate the success throughout the year. Did you accomplish your objectives? Why or why not? Situations and time restrictions arise. Therefore, it is acceptable to modify dates as objectives, as long as team members and your advisors agree to the modifications. We've specifically seen this year just how adaptable and fluid we have to be to succeed throughout the process.
Before we say thank you, we want to ask you guys if you have any questions or comments at all that you would like to discuss with us. Go ahead and type in the chat if you want. Okay, can you further explain the chart? Oh, okay. So let's go back to the chart. So in the chart, you can see that in the program component, you want to write your specific goal. And then you want to write your objectives. So you want to write what you want to achieve with this goal. Then the action is what is going to come out of it actually, what you're going to do and put in place so you can actually achieve this goal. Then the target date is pretty self-explanatory. It's when you want this to be due and get done by. People involved will be who will be responsible. And if this goal requires money, then you want to set a budget so you know how much you can spend and you can make wise financial choices for your chapter or region. And then BAA connection is if you're doing a goal specifically for BAAs, which are the Business Achievement Awards, and they're nationally recognized awards where you can get national awards for doing community service work and being involved with your chapter.
Yeah, that was a really good question. And then the next question, what are examples of some goals? So some goals that we've had to do is turning in our articles on time for the month, or BAAs have 4 levels, F, B, L, and A. So we all set a goal to complete the B level by a certain time. It can really be anything within your chapter. Getting to a certain number of members, that's an awesome goal to have. We have that personally with our chapter.
Another example is participating in an American Enterprise Day project, which is November 15.
Definitely. Those are 2 really good questions.
And other examples that we do at the state level are on our social media. We post every day and we know who's accountable for it because we have a sign up and you write down exactly like what your topic is going to be and what it is you'll be posting, which is something that's really helpful since we're virtual.
Definitely.
Oops. Does anyone still need the chart up? I'll keep it up just in case.
Yeah, you can take a picture or anything.
Oops, sorry.
Should meetings be held weekly? I don't think so, at least not right now. We have ours monthly during normal times. At least we would have a monthly meeting during what we call mid-low morning or study hall. And that seemed to be enough with a speaker once a month and some snacks and things. People really enjoyed coming. I think weekly might be a little too much, but
maybe are you talking about your officer meetings? Even that's a little much too, I think, because since people are so busy. But if you are able to assemble that, I think that'd be great as well.
Yeah, officer meetings are definitely more frequent. A Nelson, hopefully that's how you pronounce it. What chapter are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh.
I like your name. I'm from Justice. I don't know if I have heard of that chapter, but that's a really cool name. I like it. Debsort High School, the name changed.
Thanks for all your questions.
Yeah, they're really good. They're really impressive.
Some other goals that we've been trying to set in my chapter have been trying to figure out how we're going to do community service events and what we're going to do like for the later months in the year. Since my school is still virtual, we can't like go and do any like community service events that we normally do. And we used to do for our American Enterprise project, we used to go to a local elementary school and teach them about like the American Enterprise. And that was always one of my favorite projects we did. But since we're virtual this year, we can't do it. So our goal has been to find new activities, and we've been able to find like we've started to do workshops for our team and like for our members, so we can kind of like learn to lead. If you went to that, we're trying to do something like that.
That's so awesome. That's so
Yeah.
cool. I love it.
Well, I think you don't have to ask questions too. You could, if you have anything you want to discuss with us, we're open to it as well.
Yeah. Well, we can move on to talking about what our program of work looks like now. And then if you guys have any more questions, you can just leave them below.
Okay, do you want to talk about that? About our program of work?
Sure. So our program of work, it's called The Vision, and we meet once a month to discuss the plan and just see what we've completed throughout the month and specific deadlines that we've got. Sometimes we split it into groups, the responsibilities, which makes things move a lot smoother, and everyone knows what they're accountable for those that way. So thank you guys all so much for coming today. I hope it was helpful and you have a great rest of your week. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask. But yeah, thank you so much.
Hold up, don't leave yet because we have to announce the door prize winners. So Katie Kinsky and Ahmad Nelson are our door prize.
Oh, I think you're on mute, Mrs. Mills.
Okay, so, all right, back, don't leave yet. We still have to do the door prize winners. Katie Kinsky and Ahmad Nelson are our door prize winners, and they need to email Mrs. Mills. So I have their email address, and let me know their preference between Starbucks and a Amazon gift card.
Yay, congrats.
That's so exciting.
And I'll put it in the chat so you can just copy paste.
Katie Kinsky is the Tri-Cities Regional Vice President.
Cool.
It means that you won